Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to Crento This and That. One of the things that I wanted to cover on this channel is things that I really enjoy. And one of the things that I like a lot is the Carolina Hurricanes. You've seen a lot of stuff behind me in several videos, so I figured I would do a couple videos talking about them. So first things first, the Hurricanes were established in 1997. However, they actually began life quite a bit earlier as the Hartford Whalers. So the Hartford Whalers were established in 1971 and wound up actually joining the NHL in 1979. In 1994, they were purchased by Pete Karmanos. Also, the Whalers have some cool history as far as championships and playoffs, and like even before they were in the NHL. And they had this weird thing happen with their stadium where like the ceiling collapsed because of a weight of snow. But yeah, so I'm going to look up some of that stuff if you're interested. But again, in 1994, Pete Karmanos purchased the club. And even though he promised not to sell the team, dwindling ticket sales and having, at the time, the smallest hockey market in the league, he changed his mind and he decided to move it to Raleigh in 1997. So Raleigh wound up getting the club, but they hadn't actually built, at the time, the entertainment and sports arena yet. So for the first couple of years, they actually played in Greensboro Coliseum, still as the Carolina Hurricanes. This is actually the first jersey of the Carolina Hurricanes, with the first style and design. So from 1997 to 1999, they're in Greensboro. So the inaugural season would have actually been, as far as Raleigh's concerned, 99. I've had a couple questions asking me about why they're called the Hurricanes. And in 1996, North Carolina was rocked by two of the biggest hurricanes that we'd seen back to back. So Bertha had hit in July of 1996, and then Fran had hit in September of 1996. Both of those had done a lot of damage. So it was really fresh in everybody's mind. So Karmanos, in his infinite wisdom, thought about, well, what's a destructive force that North Carolina is very aware of and could relate to? And he thought the Hurricanes, because we had just had the two that hit. But that's why they're called the Carolina Hurricanes, because they're actually literally named after hurricanes. One of the interesting things to note is there was a hockey player when they had just got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes who said in an interview he remembered when he got into the taxi cab from the airport. Taxi driver asked him where he wanted to go. He said, "I want to go, take me to where the Carolina Hurricanes play." And taxi cab driver's like, "Where?" He said, "Carolina Hurricanes, the National Hockey League team here in Raleigh." Taxi driver was like, "We have a hockey team?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he wound up driving that way. And this happened in like 2002 or 2004. I forget what year. But that hockey player was Rod Brind'Amour, the current coach. And Rod Brind'Amour was with us when we won the Cup. But I'm getting ahead of myself because the first championship that the Hurricanes played for was actually in 2002, just a couple years after becoming a team. 2002, they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. They lose, but they stay relevant because just a few years later, in 2006, they would go on to actually win the Stanley Cup. I became a fan. I went to my first game in 2006, but I wouldn't say that I became a fan until around 2007, 2008. Doesn't mean I'm bandwagoning, but it just wound up working that way in my life to where I was able to actually go see more games. And I wound up going to a lot of games come around 2009. So that was actually when I decided to be, when I wound up becoming a regular at Hurricanes games, and which is cool because in 2009 the Hurricanes would again make it pretty far into the Stanley Cup tournament. The Stanley Cup is the highest award that hockey teams can win. They wound up going really far, falling short of the finals, but they won their division. And that would have been, for a while, the last time the Hurricanes would actually be a good team and make it to any of the playoffs even. Until more recently, when, again, Ron Brind'Amour becomes the coach of the Hurricanes and suddenly they become a playoff team, which is pretty awesome. Being a Hurricanes fan, we'd gone through a lot of years of not great coaches and a lot of years of not great play. The players were good because they would go on to play on other teams and succeed. So clearly, it wasn't necessarily the players. So let's say, I want to say 2018, I guess, would have been the turning point, which is when the Hurricanes really started to kick off and get the ball rolling. They would get new coach, they would get new uniforms, they would really get the fans involved and get the fans going. We wound up Tom Dundon would buy the team and do something that we hadn't seen in a while, and that's actually spend some money on really good players. Start to remodel the arena. Now it went from being the Entertainment and Sports Arena to the RBC Center to now the PNC Arena. Things were on the up and up. So now here we are in the 2021-2022 season. The Hurricanes are at the top of the board. I think right now we're sitting at 78 or 79 overall points. And it's a good year to be a Hurricanes fan. We've got a lot of new fans. I say we. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to games and spending money. But got a lot of new fans. The arena is probably 85 to 90% full, which during the lean years, we were lucky to get 10 to 12,000 people in a 20,000. Our stadium holds about 18,300 people, I think. And I think max capacity with standing room only is almost 19. So during playoff times, we get really close to that 19,000 mark. But under normal games, right now we're sitting around 15,000, I think, is average. Which we got lucky to get 10 back in, like I said, back in the lean years. Great things are happening. So one of the other questions that I get is, well, what's our mascot? Well, our mascot's a pig. It's Ice Hog, to be more specific. His name is Stormy, and his jersey number is 97. His jersey number is 97 because that was the establishment year. We love Stormy. Stormy is awesome. He's a great mascot. One of the things that people don't know about him is if you see him in the arena and you give him a high five, you'll hear a squeak. He's got a squeaker in his palm. I love that. But yeah, he's great. He'll slide down the banisters. He has a lot of fun with the kids and a lot of fun with the adults. We love Stormy. Now, Stormy, what does Stormy and a pig have to do with a hurricane? And pig farming is really huge in North Carolina as well. So between that, North Carolina barbecue, hog farms in general in North Carolina, Stormy's our mascot. Again, he's an ice hog. His feet even say ice hog on the bottoms of them, so yeah, look for that if you see him. And he'll kick his feet up and he'll have ice and hog on each foot. So yeah, if you're watching this, you were curious about the hurricanes. The very next video that I plan on putting out is actually going to cover what to expect at at least a Hurricanes hockey game. I've been to several, I've been to a couple of hockey arenas outside of Raleigh, and most arenas are pretty similar with what they do. So stay tuned for that. But as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next video. Bye.